104.1 KRBE, a Cumulus media station.
Good morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with producer Eric, Special K, and Sam.
It is time for Try It Tuesday, and I like this week because it's not something we have to eat.
Yeah, we're not tortured. Yeah,
no torture.
I mean, I think children in like toddlers have probably gotten a hold of some of this stuff in the house of their older siblings and maybe tried to eat it, but this is not for consumption. That is for sure. It is a little girl named Maddie, so her product is called Mad Slime. See how that works? Maddie.
Oh, that was very creative.
Cute.
Very creative.
And Ahmad actually met her at the Green over there by Ciro's on I-10, right? It's what's that called? That little area
Ciro's.
where Memorial City Mall is. It's called On the Green. It's not Discovery Green. It's not City Center.
No, there's
It's
like
right
a
over
little
there on I-10.
grassy, well, it's a fake grass playground behind Ciro's.
Yeah, and it's kind of like they've really built that up now. Between the Zaza and Ciro's, they build that up with like little markets and things like that, like you see kind of at City Center. And so Maddie was there with her slime. Ahmad ran into her and said, "Oh, you should come on the Roula and Ryan show because of the difference of the slime, and what the selling point is." So let's welcome Maddie to the show now. Hi, Maddie.
Hi,
Hey,
Hi,
good
Maddie.
morning. First of
Maddie, tell
all,
everyone how old you are.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 10 years old.
And you brought your mom.
10 years
What's your mom's name?
Janae.
say hi, Mom.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thanks for getting
So
up
your
early.
daughter is so creative. When she came to you and said, "Hey, I've got a great business idea," were you like, "Really?"
Well, so she loves slime, and I hated slime, so I would never
So does every
allow
parent, girl.
slime in the house. And she was like, "Well, I am determined to figure out a slime that you'll allow." So she worked really hard to make one that worked.
Maddie,
and-
how did you come up with this ingredient?
Well, I did lots of testing, and whenever I was bored, and
Lots of YouTube videos.
Lots of YouTube videos? Okay.
It's true.
and I created, and I was like, wait, this actually is good. You know, I mean, it probably will stick if you leave it on there for a while, but it doesn't stick instantly like other slime.
Yeah, when it gets in the carpet, my kids would have that.
Yeah.
They make it too slimy, too gooey.
And it would like ruin your furniture.
But what I
So
like is
don't want
each
that.
slime, I mean, the packaging is amazing, and each slime has its own theme.
Yeah, and like each slime has
Scents.
a different name. Each slime has a different scent, and little Ziploc baggies, tiny ones, that has charms and glitter that go with each slime.
That's
Some
really
people
cute.
like glitter, some people don't.
Oh, so you separate. That's
Right.
smart. So
That's
you're-
really smart.
And it's not
Yeah.
mixed in, and if you don't want to put the glitter in, you
Charms
don't have
in there.
to.
The
Yeah.
glitter.
Yeah.
And let's also talk about
separate, please.
on the side. Okay, so let's also talk about the other slimes that are on the market. There are a bunch of different slimes, and they are making a killing in the toy market because there's one specific slime that my kids like that I will allow because just like Maddie's, you're thinking, okay, well, this one doesn't feel as like. When you think slime, you're thinking of gack and goo and like it sticks to your fingers. And there are some that are more doughy than they are slimy. But the problem is they do stick to stuff. And so, Maddie, your Mad Slime is not supposed to stick to stuff or your fingers. It's not supposed to like be coated on your fingers.
Yes.
Like as you pull it, right, it should just kind of pull within itself. Is that right?
Yeah, and it like will.
Okay. Maddie brought me some yesterday.
And how long does it?
I got some here.
How long does it last? Like if I'm playing with this for like
Oh, that's a good
3
question.
hours, does it
Yeah.
dry up? If I
Well-
leave the top off here,
If you leave the top off for a while, it will dry out. But if you're playing with it for a while and it gets a little hard, all you have to do is add a little bit of water at a time, and it comes back to normal.
just a little water.
Oh, that's really
all
clever.
The moisture
But if
in the
you
slime
leave it
goes into
out
your
like
hand.
for a long
Yeah, if
time,
you leave it out, yeah.
right?
it's
You have to
Well,
keep
yeah,
it,
that's true
keep
with
it in the
anything.
jar. Yeah.
And actually, Janae, as you know, we many times left that out on purpose for our children. Like,
Oh, darn.
it got dry.
Rolla the spoiler.
Oh,
All right, let's
no.
open up.
You have to throw it
Who wants to
away.
go first?
We can all do it. Go ahead. We can all.
Yeah, what I have the Donut Worry Be Happy scent.
That's
Mine's
cute.
donut scented. What do y'all have?
Cute.
Mine's Space City. I like that.
I like
What's
the
the
little.
smell like,
Look at those
Eric?
colors.
Astro colors. It looks like no Astros. Of course, obviously, you can't say Astros.
Mine has little donuts in
Yeah.
it.
Yours has.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
my
that's
gosh, how
cute.
cute! Those are the
Mine has
charms
little
that you're
donuts in
referring
it.
to. Kev, what
Isn't
is
that cute?
yours?
Did you get one, Kev?
No, not yet.
Here you go.
Oh,
Yeah, grab
sorry.
one. While he's
Sorry.
doing that, I got nacho cheese, and I like it. It's so cute on the jar. It says, "What do you call cheese that is not your own?" Nacho cheese.
Nacho
And then
cheese.
mine's I can buy
Jeez.
myself flowers by Miley Cyrus, and it has different colored pink in it. Very cute.
All right,
Does it smell
mine
like
is
flower, Sam.
I'm going to open it right now and smell it.
What's yours, Kev?
Karma is a cat. We got a little picture of Taylor up on there
Kev.
with her cat.
All right, let's open these up.
And-
Mine
What does
came
that
with
one
all
smell
these
like?
charms.
Now this is weird
little
because it
charms
feels
are cute.
sticky. Then I'm like, oh, my hands gonna be sticky. They're not sticky.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love this. You open it up. like I said, mine is nacho cheese. There's little wedges of cheese and glitter that in a separate pouch that I can mix in with it.
While
so
we
cute.
open up these slimes for those just tuning into the Roula and Ryan show for Try It Tuesday, we have Maddie in the studio. She's 10 years old. She started making slime that her parents will allow because no parents actually like slime. It's not supposed to stick to anything or make your hands feel disgusting. And for Mama Janae, how do you explain to other parents the takeover of slime in your house when your child says, well, I think people want to buy this now? Do you have like 6,000 jars in your house and every bowl you have has been confiscated now for Maddie to make her slime? How do you do this?
She has her own slime room. So like our playroom has been converted to a slime room with all the mason jars, all the clays and all the ingredients.
Where can you purchase this?
So
it's getting sold at Learning Express right now.
Oh, Learning Express?
the Learning Express in Memorial.
Yeah.
How cool.
That's awesome.
And do you have any social media?
Also your Instagram too, right, guys? On your Instagram.
This is so
Yep,
cool.
it's at the Mad Slime.
At the Mad Slime.
At the Mad Slime, because it's Maddie who created the slime. The Mad Slime was our Try
I
It
can't wait to
Tuesday
see
item today.
what you're going to do when you're like 10 years from now when you're 20.
Like the entrepreneur.
Yeah, you're
Right.
Where she's trying different like cancer vaccinations and like trial
I
and
started out
error.
making a slime.
now saving your life.
And Kev, Booster could probably benefit from this kind of stuff too, because he works with a lot of elders who need to have
Dexterity.
something for dexterity in their hands. Like I was telling Maddie's mom yesterday that my mother-in-law snatched a couple of the slimes that my kids had that were the kind that's a little bit more doughy than it's sticky, so she could kind of hold it in her hands, and it's for the sake of dexterity. Yes,
these
it's
bounce?
good for all ages.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
Bouncing
yeah.
it over here, trying not to
try
hit
it.
the board.
I don't want to get it on the carpet, though.
Sam, does yours smell like
Stick to it.
flowers?
Mine smells so
Oh,
good. It does
just
smell like
bounces right off the
flowers.
carpet.
Right here we go.
Mine
Let's bounce it.
smells delicious.
Eric is making a bounce.
Eric hit the ceiling.
Even on the
It
ground,
really
doesn't-
bounces.
It doesn't stick.
It doesn't stick.
That's awesome. Look at that.
And it
Nice.
smells so good.
It's really cool. It's almost like a silly putty
Well,
consistency.
it's like for stress. So she makes it and then she donates it to school counselors and school principals.
It's a great
because
stress ball.
I mean, you're the most stressed if you're in the principal's office.
Oh,
so they
yeah.
love to play with it and do stress.
You need to give it to each
And
teacher
you guys
now.
are doing something great with Lily's Toy Box. And you tell everybody that. Y'all were telling me yesterday about your efforts for helping kids in Hawaii. Tell everyone about that, guys.
Oh yeah, Lily reached out to me about teaming up with her for Hawaii, and she found like a thing, like
a plane?
a plane that would take some toys, and so every slime that's getting sold at Learning Express, I'm donating one to Lily's Toy Box to bring to
Oh
Hawaii.
my gosh, that's so
nice.
awesome.
They have a plane through Convoy of Hope that is sending like relief things, but then they're also giving her a pallet for kids' toys, and she's been amazing and has so many toys, and she's
Oh,
including
how
Mad
proud you
Slime.
must be of your daughter.
We are.
That
We are
is
very
awesome.
proud of
That's
her.
awesome.
Using all your
proud.
weird talents for good. No matter how weird your talent is, you can use it for good.
What did Maddie say that is super important for all parents to have paid attention to? She figured this out when she was bored. When your kids
correct,
are always
right.
telling you they're bored, it makes room for creativity. So it's okay if we don't constantly have something to do. And then my kids are like, they're bored. I go, well, go figure something out to do. And Maddie made the slime.
That's great.
So-
You're not just sitting around on TikTok all day like Eric.
Yeah, I'm a grown man. It's really sad.
So, the Mad Slime on Instagram is where you can see all the different
a great
slimes that she
product.
has. Learning
Thank you.
Express is in Memorial off of the Beltway in Memorial. And for every one that you buy at Learning Express, right, Maddie, you're going to put
Yes.
one in Lily's Toy Box.
Yeah.
Lily's Toy Box, we talked to them too. Lily's Toy Box was born after Hurricane Harvey when Lily started collecting toy donations to give to kids who all of their houses got flooded and lost everything in the storm. And now that's taken off too. So we have a
Bregman's
lot
been
of
helping her out in the
Yeah.
past.
kids.
That's fantastic. Maddie, what's your Instagram?
It's at the Mad Slime.
At the Mad Slime.
Yes.
The Mad
Is there? Do you want
Slime.
to give a shout out to anybody? You can do it to your friends.
Yeah, anybody want to say hi
Anyone.
to?
Now's your chance.
I guess thank you, Sadie, for helping me make it. And Mackenzie for helping me make it.
And Genevieve.
And Genevieve for helping me make
right.
it.
Sometimes when she gets big orders, they come over and they help her. They're the
Ah.
few people who know her
What's a
secret
big
ingredients.
order? Tell me, like, how much is a big
Like
order?
50 or 100?
Oh, that's a lot of
She
slime
back
you're
there with the
making.
cauldron.
I have an electric mixer to help me.
Look at you.
Nice.
Do you do behind the scenes on your Instagram? Like how
We
you do it?
should. We not yet.
Do
Not
some of
yet.
that stuff. People
Yeah,
love
you don't
behind
want
the
people
scenes.
figuring out the ingredients.
Yeah,
It's my secret recipe.
Yeah.
Blur it out.
Yeah, blur that part out. Don't show that part.
Right.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much
Thanks for
stopping
having
in.
us.
Thanks for joining
The
us.
Mad Slime on Instagram. Maddie, you're doing great things.
I think we can all agree this is
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah, it gets an A+.
Super cool.
A+ all the
smells
way.
really
Do
good.
you have to go to school now?
Yeah.
Well, you got a fun story. Say, hey, sorry I'm a little late. I had to stop by the Roula and Ryan show. I'm talking about my
Sell all my
Right.
products.
Best excuse ever.
Yes.
And I told you guys yesterday, get ready for your order. So I hope you have some mixers ready to go, Maddie.
Good stuff.
At
Well
the Mad
done.
Slime on Instagram. Thanks a lot, guys. Coming
Thank
up next,
you.
Thanks,
it is-
Maddie.
we're gonna do a little pivot here from fun
Yeah, Maddie,
slime
take the
with
headphones
kids
off because
to
we're going to do True Crime Tuesday.
True Crime Tuesday. 713-390-KRBE is the number. You can call us if you have a story connected to a crime, whether you are the person that committed the crime and you've paid your debt to society or you were somehow involved. 713-390-KRBE. True Crime Tuesday, next on The Roula and Ryan Show.
It's the Roula and Ryan Show. It is True Crime Tuesday. We want to hear from you right now. You got a good chance to get through. We got a couple lines open at 713-390-KRBE. That's 713-390-5723.
I really want this texter, if they have time, to call us on that number you just gave out. At 37530, the texter says, I need to call in for true crime. My sister was murdered.
Oh, my God.
It was a murder for hire, but they got the wrong person.
Oh, my God.
Ahmad, can you see that number?
No.
Maybe Ahmad can call.
That's so terrible.
No, stuck in
Ahmad,
traffic
see if
trying
that
to get to
person
work,
has time
you know.
to call because
Darn
I
it.
know everyone's
They said
doing
they
their
won't.
different.
They won't right now.
They won't right now?
No.
Darn it. Okay.
They're stuck in traffic.
Well, they got to be safe.
Let's go. Oh, yeah, that's true. But you can call in even on the listener line one day and tell us a story. We can play it that way.
Maybe help you out.
Darren's up first. 713-390-KRBE. Hi, Darren. Welcome to True Crime Tuesday.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Hey,
Wonderful.
we're fine. So you want to share with us your story?
Yeah. So, back in 2095, well, yeah, no, 95. Back in 95, I was a manager at Foot Locker back at Sharpstown, and at the time, my girlfriend had been like, she was pregnant, and she was like, hey, come to the house tonight, and I was like, no, I don't want to. I want to go with my friends, whatever else. And so eventually, she called me enough, and I said, okay, I'll go. When I drove up to the house, there was a car outside, and I remember to this day it was a gold Toyota Camry, and it had that KSBJ sticker on the back of it.
Mm-hmm. God
I go
listens.
to the house. Yeah, God
Right.
listens. Exactly. That's on the back of it. Yes, exactly. So I was like, okay, well, her brother was coming in from San Antonio. I thought maybe one of his friends was outside picking him up. So I didn't think anything of it. So I go to the door, knock on the door like I usually do. And I heard somebody scream, and I was like, what the heck? Are they playing? What are they doing? What are they doing? What's going on over there?
Uh-oh.
So eventually they were like, they said, who is it? And I said, it's Darren, open the damn door. And so they opened the door, and then the guy was kind of standing behind the door. When I looked in her house, it's like a long hallway that goes into the entry room.
Uh-huh.
Well, she was laying on the floor pregnant with a towel over her face. And I was like,
my
I
God.
looked at the guy that was opening the door, and I was like, it looked like one of his other friends. And I was like, I walked the door going, what the heck is going on? And that guy tried to fight me, and I was fighting him. Another guy came out of the room, and I was fighting him.
Oh, my
The
God.
third guy came out, and they got me on the ground. They handcuffed me, and they were like, who's outside? We'll kill you right now. They put a gun to my head and
Oh, my
all
God.
that other stuff like that. They had me on the ground.
gosh.
So these guys, they
Yeah,
came, they a home invasion, they came equipped with handcuffs.
Yeah, they did. They had handcuffs. So I guess what happened was she let them in the house because she thought it was me coming over to the house. And, like, usually I'll play around. I'll put my hand over the little peephole thing. And
Yeah.
they did that. And she opened the door. That's how they got in.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. But when I
my
got there, they were like, hey, man, who's outside with you and everything else? And, like a dummy, I described the car they were in. And then they ended up, so I worked, like I said, I worked at Foot Locker. They took, at that time I had a pager. They took my pager. I had a necklace on. They took my shoes. They took my wallet. I just bought a car, my first car I purchased myself back then. I still had the paper plates, and I just purchased it, and it was outside. So they took my car,
Oh, my gosh.
and they took my car. So when we called the cops, like we went next door, called the cops. They came over. He said that, I was standing there talking to him about what happened, and I was like, dude, can you take me out of these cuffs? And he's like, well, hold on a second. I was like, bro, take me out of these cuffs. I don't want to be in these cuffs. But like I was the one that did it, whatever else. But anyway,
okay.
I was talking to him I was talking to him about it, and over the radio, it announced my license plate number, saying that they robbed somebody else down the street in my car. And I was like, well, hey,
God.
you do know, they said that the guy was walking outside to get his mail, and I guess when he walked outside, they ran up on him and did the same thing to him. And, they did that there. And I told them, I said, hey, man, look, it's not me because I'm right here.
Right.
Don't
So
try
they
to
get
come
caught?
after me on this.
Derek, did they finally get caught?
They told me. I don't think so, but this is what the cop told me. So, of course, I'm furious because, like I said, at the time, my girlfriend was pregnant. She's in the house. She's all stressed out behind it.
Yeah.
And it was already a tough pregnancy as it was, and she was all stressed out behind it. But the cop told me, my brother came to the house, like my whole family came over, and we're all upset. And the cop goes, hey, man, look, this is what I'm going to do. He goes, if we find these guys, I'm going to bring them back over here. You guys can have 5 minutes in the backyard with them. You can't kill them.
No.
Please find them. Please find them. Please find them. So whether or not he would have done it or not, but they found my car. That was like on a Friday night. They found my car on a Sunday night. They called me at home and said, asked me my information. They said they found my car in Manville, but when they got the car, like they had tried to take off the wheels, I guess, and they couldn't take them off, but they had totally gutted the interior. So like when they got there, the only thing that was in the car was like a milk crate and a steering wheel. So all my seat belts,
they took everything.
Rearview mirrors, all that. Yeah, they took everything off the car.
So what happens with that?
Salvaged it.
Did insurance cover that? I'm always curious about that stuff.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing about it was I put it in the shop, and like the bill for it, I probably paid $15,000. It was like an Acura Integra at the time. I probably paid $16,000 for the car. The bill on it was like almost $10,000 because you got to think about it. Every little bolt, every little washer, they had to charge the insurance.
But did insurance pay for it?
Yeah, they paid for it. I mean, the insurance bill, like from the insurance company, was. I mean, if you folded it all the way out, it was taller than me. It was crazy. But
oh my god!
I'm a little confused at one part of the story. So you said you pulled up and you see a car with a KSB bumper sticker. Are you saying that the thieves arrived? They arrived in that car,
stole it?
Yeah, they got there. They came in that car. Yeah, they must have either that was maybe they stole that car too, and they were just doing the whole thing that night or something. But that car was outside, and but the other thing was like a couple days later after that happened, I think we had my daughter within that week because she was still stressed out behind it. She went into labor and had my daughter and stuff like that. And then, like I said, once I got the car back, it was like that first Easter after my daughter was born. We went to the park to have Easter there and all that kind of stuff. I was on my way to the store. I get pulled over, and the car those guys stole, right?
No.
So the first thing the cop does, he looks at the car and does, hey, your VIN number off the dashboard is gone, because it was gone too. And I was like, yeah, the car got stolen, blah, blah, blah. Here's the receipt. I showed him the receipt of everything that happened. He still took me to jail. And
no.
What?
On Easter Sunday, so. And that was before we had
for having a stolen car, Darren. That's why you got arrested for, quote, having a stolen car.
Stolen car.
Yeah, right.
He took me to jail because of that. And he took
my
me to jail for that. He held me there for about 8 hours in a holding cell. They took my car. They kept it for like 3 or 4 days to check it to make sure it wasn't stolen.
Oh my god!
But the crazy, I had to leave my family at the park. I didn't have a cell phone to call.
Oh,
so he took me back. He was like, he told me, hey, I'm gonna take you back. You're free to go. So he took me back to the place. He picked me up and just dropped me there on the corner. I think I was at Bel Air and like Eldridge. And he just dropped me off at the corner right there.
The police did this?
Moral of the story, if your car gets stolen, just get a new one if you can, if they'll let you total it out. That's crazy.
I did. So after that happened, I was like, I'm done with this car. I took it to the dealership, and I traded it in. I did it at night, and so they didn't see anything. So the next, 3 days later, they called and said, hey, man, your car, the VIN number's gone. I said, hey, I'm sorry, bro. I'm done.
You bought it?
You bought it.
Your problem
Can I just
now.
ask one more thing? Did we find out that this was just a random home invasion? These guys, did they target your girlfriend, or they just randomly picked her place?
From what the police officer said, it's a random thing that happened because she lived in, at that time, it was an elite, well, there still is, but it was a lot of Asian people lived there. They said that they probably went to the wrong house because there's Asian people who lived on both sides of her. They went to the wrong house because, most Asian people don't believe in the banking system, so they keep a lot of cash at home. And so that's what they said anyway. So
if they have their own business, a lot of small businesses of any background, if you had a small business, especially some cultural backgrounds, are like, well, we'll just take the bank home with us at night and then go to the bank the next day.
95.
Now you got Ring cameras.
Exactly.
Thankfully.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, it was the craziest thing I've ever been through. So, yeah. It was
I'm so sorry that happened to you guys.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I was like, you would think during that time when you got a gun pointed in the back of your head, you would be nervous and your heart be beating fast. But I thought I was going to die literally because this is how I'm going to go down because I was so calm. Like my heart wasn't beating fast. I wasn't shaking. Yeah, I was pretty much numb. And I thought I was I thought that was the end. I was like, this is not how I thought I'd die. So,
were you saying anything like your goodbyes to your
like in your
I
head?
didn't say anything. I don't think I said anything. I think I just sat there and let them, take the stuff out of the house so they would hurry up and leave and do what they had to do. But they didn't get nothing but my, couple credit cards and her purse and, some stereo equipment. And that was
a lifetime of mental trauma over some credit cards.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be peeing my pants, man.
You totally have PTSD over that. I hope your 28-year-old daughter now is doing fine.
Really crazy.
Fine, yeah, she's fine. She doesn't remember any of that stuff. But yeah, she's fine though. She's good.
She's if she remembered that, honey, let me tell you something. You guys need a bottle, whatever the heck she's got. All right, Diana's up next. It's True Crime Tuesday, 713-390 KRBE. You tell us a story about how you're connected to a crime. Diana's has to do with a bank robbery. Good morning, Diana.
Good morning.
Hey,
Hi.
Diana.
Hi. So I used to manage a branch, actually out in Vintage Park. So it's a pretty nice area.
Mm-hmm.
And my door was closed. I walked in during lunch, and it was towards the end of the day. And all of a sudden, I hear this ruckus, and I see these two guys with masks and hats, pre-COVID, and backpacks, and they run in the branch, and they jump on the high teller windows, not even the low ones, the high ones, and they pull two guns out of their backpacks, and they're like, do you know what time it is, mother effer? It's time for you to give me all your money. And then they put two guns to my teller's head, who was brand new. She was 20 years old.
Poor kid.
And she was in training. We don't give you money the first week. And they were like, give me all your money. And she's like, I don't have money. I'm new. I'm in training. They're like, if you're lying to us, we're going to shoot your brains, out on the floor.
So they're not behind any glass.
They jumped the glass.
No, this was in.
They're next to her now.
This was, inside the branch.
Okay.
Yeah, they're jumping. And so then I'm watching. At first, I thought it was just an irate customer yelling at my tellers. And I'm like, chest puffed out, like, you're not going to talk to my people like this. And I open the door, but when I see the guns, I'm like, I closed that door. I call 911, I push the alarm, and then I'm on hold with 911. I did not know 911 had hold music, but just so you know, they do.
What?
Oh, my God.
911 puts you on hold. Wow.
Whoa. It was, you're on hold. They're like, we'll be with you right in one. I was on the call with AT&T. It was crazy.
Was
so,
it like that? Does it sound like this?
No, that's legit. That's in Houston, for real.
Oh my God!
So was the cops theme?
Whoa!
Bad boys.
So then, what happened? Did the cops come before these bank robbers got away, or did they just take money? Did they shoot anybody?
They got money. CSI shows up of Houston, FBI. I felt like I was part of those, TV shows.
Uh-huh.
And so they jumped on the kid. They had gloves, masks, shoes, you name it. They were covered. Well, when CSI gets there, they're interviewing everyone to make sure it's not like an inside job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they want you to write down everything you remember. And they started to, you know how they take handprints, fingerprints, but they were doing footprints, on the counters, the high counters. And I was why are y'all doing that? They have shoes on. And they were like, yeah, but one of your tellers recognized the type of Nike shoe they have. And Nike has a database all over the world where, just to prevent knockoffs, the bottom of every Nike shoe is like a fingerprint. So they plug it in the system. Oh, wow. Yeah, and they can pinpoint where that shoe was purchased down to the state, the city, the store.
Amazing.
And as long as it's not purchased with cash, the trail continues. But normally with bank robberies, it's purchased.
So were they able to track down the owner of those shoes?
No. So then they tell me that Monday was a holiday. This was Wednesday. We were robbery number 13. They tell me that the city of Houston averages 4 robberies a week, and we were number 13 that week.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
What kind of mess?
That is picked up. And then I said, well, what do I do to, for protection? They're like, get a gun. I'm like, I have pepper spray. They're like, no, you need to get a gun.
Do you have a security guard there? Did you have a guard with a gun?
No. It's just a bank. We're not off the freeway.
But even my
it's
bank
just a bank.
My
Every branch, Eric. I go to my Wells Fargo. It's in a strip mall, and I walk in. There's no armed guard or anything in there.
Nothing?
No, but the difference is that's why I asked
if
if
they
there
find
was
out Ryan
glass.
goes there will
I
be
was
now.
just saying that.
In Sharpstown, he has a shotgun.
He has a
this
shotgun?
man has an actual shotgun at my bank, so I feel good.
But I was asking because the tellers are behind like 3-inch glass at my bank.
Yeah.
But remember, this is what
When was
you
this?
said there were
It just
taller
depends on the
glass.
area.
In what
That
year
means
was this
that
too,
branch
by the
gets
way?
robbed weekly. The ones that have the walls, the barriers, the windows, that means they get robbed weekly. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Oh, God,
You don't want-
Diana, that is so
that's why
terrifying.
it's there. They don't want to pay for that. That costs a lot of money.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
So scary.
So
Diana,
it
let me ask you
it
one
wasn't
more
a mask,
question.
though.
Did you?
I want to know about the mask. It wasn't a mask like a Freddy Krueger mask or the like.
You're saying like a mask that we wear for
regular
COVID?
mask, like one of those scarves you just lift over your nose with like a baseball
bandana?
hat and a backpack.
Yeah, bandana.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That
And
was
did
it.
you quit your job after this, or did you continue on working in the banking
I left
industry?
retail. Well, here's
Got
the
it.
kicker. So I leave retail. I go into business banking, the big, high rise, whatever buildings off Westheimer. And I start working for, I don't know if I can name the bank, but anyways, this was on the news. And, I have an office suite, but there was a retail branch. Well, a few weeks later, they came in guns blazing, shooting the armored trucks. I don't know if y'all remember that on the news. And I almost walked in the middle of it, and they shot a poor guy. So when it comes to armored trucks, it's guaranteed a shootout. Don't get in your armored trucks. I'm telling you now.
I know everyone.
Okay, Diana, great point. Great point. Because I always thought of that. I had a friend that did that job, and he said, when you see the armored truck roll up to the place, whether it's a grocery store, wherever it is, you better get far away from that truck because somebody might be poaching that truck and waiting for the shootout. So I've always thought of that when I see the armored trucks. I'm like, oh, God, they're getting a drop off in a pickup. I got to park somewhere else. Go to the listener line, guys, 713-278-VENT. That's
You guys brought it.
8368. Y'all did bring it today. 8368 on your phone. That is VENT. 278-VENT for the listener line. Coming up next, Ryan Seacrest is taking over Wheel of Fortune. Eric, I think you're going to flip a table because your boy, Pat Sajak, is going to have the things that he's built for 40 years. What's Ryan Seacrest saying he's going to change about it?
Oh, what is he going to do
Find
now?
out next. In Scoop on the Roula and Ryan Show.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Please welcome Roula and Ryan's Celebrity Scoop.
104.1 KRBE.
It's brought to you by Innovative Lasers of Houston. Okay, so as Wheel of Fortune has made news, relevant news, because Pat Sajak said he is going to be stepping away. Then Vanna White said, well, if they want me to stay, they better bump up my pay. I've only been getting $3 million a year for all these years, and I do a lot on those tiles. She did get a significant bump, but they did not say how much they actually paid her because, when that story first came out, the story was, well, maybe with Ryan Seacrest coming in, they would just get rid of Vanna and figure something else out. But you can't screw up a show like that. You can't shake it up that much and think it's going to still be the same to
Well,
people.
their demographic
People like
is
their
older
routine.
people, and they want to have familiarity.
Well, people love routine, and they don't like it when there's any kind of change, and sometimes they don't realize how change is good, or they needed this change in their life. But when it comes to Wheel of Fortune, I mean, can we keep it simple, stupid? Everyone's heard that phrase, right?
Well,
Keep
they
it
did
simple,
change the
stupid.
show, Rula. Initially, they used to, people would take their prize money at the end, and they'd
And
go
they'd shop
shopping.
it.
Yeah.
It was a camera that would go all through this camping scene, Sam. I remember when I was a child. It was like the camera would show the scene. There was a bunch of mannequins dressed in this case, it was a camping thing. Mm-hmm. And there was a camper, and there's canteens, and there's a tent, and all these things.
Fun. It'd be different themes. Or I'll take the Vespa for $2,000. They would,
and so you could shop. Or now they just get the money. So Ryan Seacrest, which by the way, somebody on text said, oh my God, can Ryan Seacrest let other people have jobs? Between him and Michael Strahan,
they're
other
people
hosting everything.
out there, yeah.
They're taking all the jobs.
Goodness.
They're just happy Ryan Seacrest didn't take over Jeopardy. I was just teasing you on flipping a table, Eric, because I had to say that specifically to Eric because he and Pat Sajak are connected with what? Columbia College or your hometown?
Yeah, Columbia College. We went to
Columbia College.
Not at the same time, obviously, but I would be his driver when he'd fly in to Chicago. I'd take him to White Castle.
Is he a nice guy?
Yeah, really cool.
Why were you just driver?
Because I was just young, sophomore in college.
Whoa,
And they
that's
say, hey,
cool.
who wants to
And
do
he
it?
was alumni.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
we brought him in for donors.
Speaking engagements.
Gotcha.
He comes in, then people pay $1,000 to hang out, and
Oh, that's cool.
whatever. It wasn't $1,000.
But I mean, he retired.
Yeah.
He's 76 years old. He just felt like, hey,
He's taller than
I've done enough.
too.
He's tall?
I always thought he was 5'7" or something, but I thought he was 6'1", 6'.
Really?
Wow. Well, Ryan
6'2".
Seacrest
Could be
says,
wrong.
just get out of the way, say good evening, and let's play. He's not gonna mess with the formula. But Pat Sajak gets to know people, doesn't he? Do that whole thing like, oh, we have Eric
After the
Terrell
first
here.
round.
He's from Houston, Texas.
First they
he
spin.
works in radio.
First they spin, then they go to commercial break, and he comes back and he chit chats.
I wonder what the average is. I love the Wheel of Fortune game when you go to Vegas. And
The slot machines.
The slot machine is so much fun. That's why I've won the big bucks because of Wheel of Fortune.
Big bucks being how much? How many bucks?
What was it? 5,000?
Oh, wow.
6. I think it's.
What if he dropped on us, guys? Oh, about 74,000. What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
But I've won on that thing over the 3 times I won. I probably won almost $10,000.
Holy cow!
And I've lost maybe $300, $400.
Wow!
Oh my God!
You are an anomaly, though.
I got lucky.
He's buying breakfast today, guys.
That was years ago,
Goes
tacos.
That was years ago.
And Ryan Show to tell you what's going down in H-Town.
It is brought to you by Duncan. Eric, you actually kind of inspired me. I did a little research for this story because I've got a neighbor. The house is just in shambles, and I see a truck in his yard sometimes, and I'm like, that can't be legal. So I started snooping around, doing a little bit of investigative reporting here. So it is illegal to park your car. In the state of Texas, you are not allowed to park your car in your own front yard. It is not allowed. Texans are only allowed.
In your yard, or you're saying in front of the house? You're saying
in the yard. Now, you can park in front of. Oh, I started doing a deep dive because I know that guy, your neighbor, your old neighbor.
Ex-neighbor.
He'd always park his vehicle in front of your house.
Oh, yeah.
So that is legal. You're allowed to do that. You can absolutely do that.
Public street.
Texans are not allowed to park in their grass. It must be in a driveway or a paved parking space on the street in front of your home. Now, if somebody parks a vehicle in front of your driveway blocking you, that's illegal. You can have them towed.
Is it legal for me to take the
Special
air out
K
of your
needs to do the
tires?
citations in Sharpstown then,
you do
because
that?
I have seen when I drive.
It's
my
not
old
as bad
neighborhood.
anymore, but here's the new problem. It's roosters. I don't care about chickens. It's the roosters. I was under the impression that a rooster was not allowed in the city limits. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong.
Are they waking you up in the morning?
Ryan, not only in the morning, this rooster must be touched because he cock-a-doodle-doos all afternoon into the night. I think he's confused.
He's just having fun. He's like, come on here. Woo! Cock-a-doodle-doodle.
Sounds like somebody needs to make some chicken soup.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
coming
gonna try and
close.
find the info if it's illegal in the city of Houston. I don't know how fast we can get that info, but
Do I read
in the
everybody
Houston
wants those
city
eggs?
limits, residents are allowed to keep chickens as long as they follow certain requirements. Chickens must be kept at least 100 feet away from any neighboring residents. The number of chickens must not exceed the legal limit, which
100
is
feet?
currently set at 30.
30? You
could have
Roosters
30
are
chickens?
not allowed, Ken.
What?
Roosters are not allowed, and it is in bold highlight.
Oh
There's
my-
definitely
Up to 30
two roosters in
chickens
my
are
hood,
allowed.
too.
But who does he call? Does he call
311.
Animal control.
No,
because
it's I think it's 311.
is it? Because 100 feet
Are you
is
just making this up?
It's
No,
pretty
I'm
far.
pretty
I mean,
sure.
most homes are pretty close to each other. So
Yeah.
if you're just in the middle of a regular neighborhood and somebody's got chickens in their backyard, that's probably illegal.
KFC
Well, they
or
walk up.
Popeyes.
They walk up to my fence. I know we got
Go
that
ahead.
too.
Hey, guys, you wanna
they walk up to my fence. Like I can pet the chickens and the roosters. They always are like, "Bark, bark, bark. Hey, what's going on?"
There's like a hole through your. Did you stick your head
What's
through it?
going on?
No, my fence stops and goes to chain link at
Oh,
one
so-
part, so I can see into the neighbor's yard, and that's where they come and say hello. Like, say you got some snacks.
I hate those chain link.
I know. I built a
You
fence
just see
in
each
front.
other. It's so awkward. You're cooking, then you look over. Hey, Mom.
My
What you got over
next
there?
door neighbor, that's why they call me Fence Daddy. He had a chain link fence. I'm like, oh, well, look at that. So I built a wood plank fence in front of it.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't look at that ugly chain link
Fence
fence.
Daddy did that.
Get
Fence
it,
Daddy
Fence
did it.
Daddy.
Coming up next, in case you missed what happened, speaking of neighbors and things that are not neighborly, it has to do with toilet paper in your house. You're going to hear revenge next on The Roula and Ryan Show.